Okay, welcome to the inside of Event 6. This is typically a blacked out environment. It's usually light tight. However, just for illumination purposes, I have added some safety lights so that you can see exactly how things are and hopefully understand some of the strategies that we're going to share with you today. First of all, just some basics on the event. The dimensions of the maze. It is 64 feet in length. Whenever you enter, that's the first leg, it is 20 feet long. Then you have a 90-degree turn into the base, which is 24 feet long. Then you have another 90-degree turn into the third leg, which that's where you come out. That leg is also 20 feet, so it looks like a big U. Inside the maze itself, from wall to wall, that's 48 inches. From floor to ceiling is 36 inches. So that's what you're dealing with in terms of size. Obstacles. You will be dealing with 5 obstacles during your time inside the maze. You have 2 points at which your walls narrow to a point. They narrow from 48 inches to 22.5 inches. You also have 2 points in which the ceiling drops on the candidate. So they narrow from 36 inches down to 20 inches. And then you also have a partition that is 12 inches in height that you have to crawl over. So those are your 5 obstacles, and we'll go over those each in turn. Hatches. Each leg will have a hatch, and we can probably try and show you those as we go through. That's in case you need to leave. If there's an emergency or you're giving up on your test, that's where you would most safely exit. Also, mistakes. The big mistake in here for Events 6 is if you lose your way and you just give up, what you can do is bang on the wall and yell help to the proctor. The proctor will come over and confirm that you indeed wish to stop, and then at that point they will try and locate the nearest hatch to you and assist you out of the maze. Another point to remember with the maze, make sure that all of your equipment stays on and with you. We did once have a candidate come out of the maze. He had to go back in and get his helmet. He did not pass that day, so be very careful with your equipment while you're in the maze because it's not a good place to lose it. So if anything falls off, make sure you at least bring it with you, and then you can reassemble once you're outside of the maze. In terms of navigating, we have 2 recommendations on movement, and that should help you get through the maze as painlessly as possible. First of all, whenever you enter, you get past the 2 curtains whenever you enter, immediately find the right-hand wall and stay alongside it, because all of the wall obstacles that are going to come from the wall, they're coming from the left-hand side. So if you stick to the right-hand wall, you should bypass them with no effort whatsoever. Okay? Also, while you're moving alongside the right-hand wall, recommend or suggest at the very least kind of a sweeping motion, because whenever you're doing that, obviously you're going to be on all fours, but doing that, one, that's going to show you where the floor is, but then whenever you sweep over, that's going to show you where the wall is. Whenever you run out of space in which you don't feel wall, that means it's time to turn. We have had candidates before lose their bearings and they end up ramming the back wall, and that is a big thud, and that's also disorienting to the candidate. Obviously costs time because now they've got to try and figure out what just happened. So that way, that keeps track of your wall. So as you're moving along, you'll keep moving, and right behind you, you will see the first obstacle. As you notice, the wall, the corridors are narrowing. They're narrowing from 48 inches to 22.5 inches. Okay, as you can see, I've reached the first obstacle. Again, as you can see, the passageway is blocked by about a little over half. It went from 48 to 22.5 inches. But again, I am proceeding along the right-hand side. That's on the left-hand side. Doesn't really affect me much at all. One other thing just to point ahead is right after the first obstacle, you can see the first hatch. So if you make it this far, this is one place to get out. But again, I'm going to keep on going. It's about 4 feet after the first obstacle is my turn, but again, I'm going to keep doing my hand sweeps, and then there they go, and this tells me when to turn. And as you can see right here, it's about 2 feet beyond the elbow. You run into the next obstacle, which is the partition. That is the only time that you're going to have to climb over something inside the maze. It is about 12 inches high, but all you're going to do is climb over it, and then you can see right on the other side of it, just as soon as you're going to clear that partition, you can see that the ceiling drops. That is the first ceiling drop that you're going to encounter in the maze. It is immediately after you're done with the partition. Okay, I'm ready to climb over the partition. Again, it is 12 inches high, and it's just a couple of feet after my first turn. So again, after you turn, you might start letting your arms go out in front of you a little bit to try and catch it. That's what I normally do, is I kind of do like this a little bit as I know that I'm turning, that I do that, because then I know when it's time to climb over. So you climb over like that, nothing to it. And again, it's going to be a little tighter. As you notice, I do not have a vest on. So the vest, you are going to be even bulkier, so it is going to get even tighter in here. But as you notice, as soon as I climbed over the partition, I am already at the next obstacle, and that is your first ceiling drop that drops from 36 inches down to 20 inches to a point right here. The nice thing about it is all you got to do is crawl under it, and then you're done. It's nice and quick. And basically to do that is you're just doing kind of the motions of a dive bomb push-up, but you're just kind of going up and underneath. And then as soon as you're clear of that obstacle, get back on the right-hand side, find that wall again, use your hand sweeps, get back on the right-hand side wall, because at the elbow, you're going to experience another wall decrease. So another pinch point there in the elbow. Notice above, a couple of feet beyond the ceiling drop here where I'm at, that is your second hatch. That's right before the second elbow. So just take notice of where that is. Again, you have at that elbow, you have a narrowing from 48 inches to 22.5 inches. And then just on the other side, you're going to see how the ceiling slope. I find myself here at the last turn. This is the second elbow. I'm going into the last leg here. As you can see, this is another wall narrowing. It's going down from 48 inches to 22.5 inches. But again, after getting past the ceiling drop here in the base, as long as you stay to the right, this won't hurt you because it's on your left-hand side. Again, that's the point of staying to the right. So again, as you're doing your hand sweeps, you're going to notice that it's time to turn. You might also feel on your left elbow this wall over here. That'll be another indicator that it's time to turn. But here I am going into the final leg. Right above me, that is your third and last hatch. That is your last chance to call for help and get out before you're done. However, you made it this far, you might as well keep going. Okay, also notice immediately after the third hatch, you're going to see that the ceiling is starting to drop. It is dropping from 36 inches down to the lowest point of 20 inches. That is the last 8 feet of the maze. So be prepared for that. You're also going to feel on your head. Good thing that you've got your helmet on, but again, that's also going to help indicate that it's time to get down into an army crawl. And this is the position that you're going to be in for the last 8 feet. Again, down there, notice the narrowing of the ceiling, and you're going to be doing you're going to be doing an army crawl for the last 8 feet, and then there are the curtains for the exit. At that point, get back up and get after it, and next up is Rescue Randy.